guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kazanthi here, and today we are building a holiday family home. So this is for Winterfest, and yeah, I might be doing some other holidays, but might just be focusing also on just doing Winterfest Christmas type homes for now. But yeah, so you can see here the shell is sort of coming together. We've got some bay windows, we've got some turrets and a little balcony as well. So you see that I have got a very snowy lot, and that is because I'm building on the Mount Komorebi rental lots, and I've just changed it to residential, so in the gallery, if you download it, it's like good to go. But yeah, so I actually didn't bother putting any roof tile on, I don't think, because I just wouldn't have been able to see what it looked like. So I just, yeah, the default one is what's underneath the snow, just FYI, in case you download and place this build on a lot that isn't, you know, covered in snow. But yeah, so just kind of going through the roofing. Often I find that I have to pull out my build a tiny bit to fit the roofing together seamlessly. I had to do that in my previous build, I had to do it here. So sometimes that is why the roofs won't go together very well. It's not because of the roofs or you, it's because there isn't the space to do it. So just bear that in mind if you ever have any roofing troubles. For this little section, I really couldn't fit the octagonal roof onto the larger base turret. It just was clipping through the walls, and there was no way to make it right because obviously this octagon is not even. So I just turned it into a balcony, and I left the roof going through the railing, which I didn't mind the look of, so I just thought it would look even weirder to have the roof sort of stop, but maybe you could use like a half wall or something, or yeah. But yeah, there is quite a lot of objects on these bay windows that you see me doing right now, which are placed very precariously with move objects, so just bear that in mind as well. If you're going to download this build, do have move objects on first, because I don't know what will happen otherwise. But yeah, so I use these little sort of almost railing like objects from Strangerville, and then I also used the stone not lining, but yeah, like this stone trim, that's the word, stone trim, from Jungle Adventure. I do use quite a lot of Strangerville and like vampires because I was going for that more traditional look, and yeah, so you see me using the posts from Strangerville there, and then like the front door that you saw me place earlier was vampires. I guess you could say I was kind of inspired by a Victorian aesthetic, or maybe even like Edwardian, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily like full on Victorian Edwardian kind of, it's just more got some features, and yeah, but yeah. I did contemplate as well with these bay windows, so obviously the lower ones are roofed. I did contemplate having some sort of awning in between the two, so it was over the doorway, but I just couldn't find anything that was suitable, and putting a roof there itself wasn't working, so I just left it. But yeah, now you see me putting those Jungle Adventure trims in. They've got a really nice colour swatch that I just thought it's just really pretty, and it kind of complements the red in the and the yellow, the green in the red in the windows and the green in the railing. You'll see me maybe swatch it on soon. And I know that the ones I put on the side are clipping through the wall, but don't worry, I do change it later, so it's not on the inside when you are playing on the inside. That being said though, I did have a lot of trouble with the interior and like those bay window roofs. It was just a nightmare. But I'll talk more about that later, you might see it. Yeah, so I'm bringing around the porch columns to the back. You can see I've done the wallpaper on the exterior, but I cut it out because this doesn't stay, as is very usual of my builds. I was really having a tough time finding the right wallpaper, and I wanted something red, which is why we've got the red siding, but then I also wanted some stonework. I didn't want to make the whole house red. Yeah, I just didn't know what to do, but I knew I wanted to like break it up and stuff. And yeah, I kind of just couldn't figure it out, so I just left it at this weird like patchwork swatch going on with about 3 different wallpapers and all them practically almost random places. But later they do get all fixed up and it looks a lot better. But yeah, you can see I'm also bringing around that jungle adventure trim just here. I thought, I don't know, it's kind of like mosaic tile, and that's quite a big feature of Edwardian or Victorian homes. So that was really why I brought it in, but yeah. So you can see I've placed down the stairs, and I had like a really big problem with the stairs as well, because I wanted to have it, we'll see it in like the screenshots and later when I'm building, but oh, and here's the roofing problem coming through. So I made this room over the staircase, and then the roofs of the bay windows appeared in the house, and obviously like I can't halve the octagonal roof, I can't cut it in half, so I was like, how do I fix this? And what I ended up doing was just drawing a wall and then like drawing 2 tiles worth of wall and then putting it into where the wall was meant to be rather than creating a room. So I don't know how that's going to affect the weather or the warmth of the house. So if you find that your sim is getting like is freezing to death inside, it might be because of that, and you might have to put up with roofs on the interior. But yeah, so that might be a problem if you're going to use this house for gameplay. As you can see, I've kind of started doing the floor plan. It is a bit iffy. So upstairs there's at first 2 bedrooms, they become 3 later on, and downstairs I use a half wall with the, what's that called? Awning, no, not awning, not eaves, beams, the beams, and the same post I was using outside to create a sort of look through space from the kitchen to the dining table, and obviously like you can pass things over and stuff if, you know, it were like a real life situation. But I quite like these beams, they give a really big Christmas vibe. So that's why I just stuck with them. It just seemed like the perfect thing. This floor plan downstairs is really open plan, which was it was really hard. My brain just kept looking at it and thinking, I actually can't figure this out. I don't know what to do, don't know where to put anything. But we got there in the end. Some of the spandrels, that's the word, spandrels stay, and some of them more others get added in different areas, but yeah. So again, I'm using a vampire door just for the back porch and the balcony door, again in red, just to keep up the Christmassy vibes. I did almost have like a red and green thing going on, but I just thought maybe it's too Christmassy, so there is some green, but it's not, you know, like red and green is the colour scheme, if that makes sense. Like there's hints of green, but yeah. So I think this is where I add in the spandrels, maybe, to that octagonal room. That becomes like a sitting room. Ooh, that's giving me stress watching me almost delete half the walls. But yeah, so there's 1 bathroom downstairs, 3 bedrooms upstairs, and then 1 bedroom as well downstairs, and then just the rest of the house is open floor plan kind of living space, mixed between seating areas, dining room and kitchen. So yeah. Oh, but yeah, that's what I was saying as well. You can see here with you just saw it in the previous frame, but the staircase with it being wrapped in that sort of L shape, you can see the tiles a lot more nicely. And I sort of wanted to make that a feature because, like I said, mosaic in tiles is a really big part of like Victorian Edwardian houses. So I just wanted to bring that in where I could. So those are actually the stairs from the Oasis pack, like the Oasis kit. But anywho, I couldn't find those other, just seeing me doing the path up to the house now, and I couldn't find those other stone objects that get covered by the snow, so I just went with these ones which you find under rugs, and I just sized them up and down. No, I sized them down, various sizes, and then just went and lined the house with hedges. So you see me doing that now. It was really hard to see the edge of the lot, I will have to say, because obviously the like grid lines are white and then there's snow, so you just kind of have to like pat around and figure out where it all is. It's like building with your eyes closed almost. I don't know why the Sims team didn't think of like making the grid lines a different colour, but whatever. We've survived. We've survived the ordeal. But yeah, so now I'm just bringing in some pine and like fir trees. So the two on the left are from the outdoor retreat pack. The other one I think might be base game, I'm not sure, but they look really, really pretty in the snow. I have to say I think it is done quite well how the snow is like made to cover everything. Like you can see on the roofing underneath other roofing that you start to see like the idea of the shingles coming through and stuff. So, and like as soon as I put this roof up, the snow underneath went away. So at least there's no glitches with snow. I'm very grateful for that because that would have made life a lot harder. But yeah, so this is just like an outdoor porch area, which I know maybe seems weird because they're up in the mountains and it's snowy, but I do put like a heater and everything, and it's not massive. It's not like there are couches or anything. There definitely is space though if you do want to add them in if you download this build. I just put a table and a grill on there later, but yeah. So you can see here I've done the same sort of path on the back of the house. I just cut it out because you didn't need to see me placing loads of circles. And then I'm adding in, I think that bench is from Romantic Garden Stuff. Excuse me, sorry. And also some of the bushes from Romantic Garden Stuff. Which, I mean, it looks a bit Willy Wonkery almost. But you know, I thought the roses would do quite nicely, and you've got this more like organic overgrown fountain of flowers as well. The thing with obviously built like landscaping in winter is a lot of the stuff just becomes twigs, which isn't necessarily bad because obviously some bushes do, like some plants do lose their leaves, but just doesn't look as nice, so you're kind of limited on options. But yeah, so you can see here I've added in loads of window seats to this little octagonal room, and now I'm adding in the spandrels. I've also brought in those Strangerville windows that I used on the bay windows at the front. And then this area that we're on now, this is like the main seating area almost. Whereas the other one's like maybe more... Actually, no, I would say the other one's the main one, because that's what, like, it's got more room and there's no TV there, so it's more for like actual communal things. So I've actually just bought the Horse Ranch expansion pack, which is why you see me using a lot of Horse Ranch stuff, because it's really new to me. And I really like the look of that cabinet next to the stairs, and I put down one of the eco lifestyle tiny TVs because I was kind of imagining maybe they only watch TV when they're at this house for like when it's, you know, Christmas stuff or like New Year's kind of countdowns and things like that. But yeah, and then for the kitchen which we're on now. So like I said, I've used a lot of horse ranch stuff, so that's why we've got the cabinets here, which I really like the wood grains on them and everything. I am changing the wallpaper because it was just too green. This is what I meant, like it was too much. It was too overpowering, it was too colourful. Sorry for the weird camera angles. Gosh, I could have like really cut all this out, like the going back and forth. But yeah, so I do switch around the kitchen so that the sink is under the window, just because that makes my brain right, like happy. And then I bring in the overhead counters once I've done like this minor piece of cluttering. I have again cut out like quite a lot of the clutter that I like footage of me cluttering everything up, just because again didn't want to make the video overly long. But yeah, this is basically the actual area of the kitchen where you will cook. So I've left one counter free that you can use to cook food, and then on this side of the wall I put these overhead long counters from the horse ranch pack. And then I was going to see if I could, figure something out with a long table, like a console table, but it just wasn't working, so it was a lot easier to just put in the counters. And then in that gap I put some clutter, like the decorations box, some milk jugs as well. But yeah, so there is a small table here as well as the larger dining table. So again, this could be something a bit more casual. This is the cottage living round table that they've got, and I have added in, oh, maybe I do keep the clutter here. Wow. It's just the usual stuff like pots and pans, and well, not pots and pans, but like utensils and kitchen paper and things. And here you can see me cluttering up this corner, just with milk jugs, because maybe that, like, I did kind of imagine it more as like a rural, not like rural, but more like remote, like a village, but maybe like in the center of a village, so it's country-ish but it's not rural, if that makes sense. But yeah, still just using the same trick of placing things into a slot on surfaces and then taking them away and rearranging it to look a bit more natural, which is just, I think I might just stick with it because it seems to be working. But who knows, maybe one day I will get the OMSP shelf back and really go to town on all the cluttering. So I put up as well these little decorative dishes. It's like, it is meant to be a family home, so just trying to bring in some family elements here and there. And then yeah, just like the bread, and I think I put down like sauces. I did try to size up this box and everything, but as soon as I placed it, it cast the weirdest shadow because it was sized down, so the game still thought it was like, the original size and everything. But yeah, I think overall I quite like this kitchen. I think it's really just the cabinets that have done it for me. Also the floor plan, the layout, I think is really nice. I love bay windows. I really need to bring more bay windows into my builds, because you get the ones that are like actually just windows you place, but building them with the half hexagon or half hexagon, right? Maybe is like a lot more satisfying, I think, and the light works so much more nicely, because obviously that is the point of a bay window, is to bring in more light. But yeah, so I do, oh wow, I don't know what's going wrong with my filter there, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I do put loads of garlands up everywhere, so you'll see those, but the ones that I put up in the kitchen on the spandrels there, they have they unfortunately like were clipping through the floor, so I had to get rid of them later on, so they don't stay, but the bows stay. And I bring in some other things, like some of them though weren't, like when I play tested, some of the garlands were getting in the way of the sim moving around, which didn't make any sense to me at all, because it was like really specific ones, it wasn't all of them. So yeah, it's like a bit hit and miss with the garlands as opposed to when I decorated. But yeah, you can see now bringing them into the stairwell. You can really see what I was talking about with the stairs there because it's got such a nice mosaic. And then yeah, just bringing in this, is that laundry day? Yeah, laundry day rugs. So I thought maybe we kind of look a bit older and it's a bit more kind of like a rustic vibe instead of, yeah, I don't know. They've got good colours, they fit the couches. And then just decorating with some portraiture, or not portraiture, but paintings. And then I went with these wall sconces and adorned them with some more garlands. These are like the pine cone ones. So every single sconce has a pine cone garland, apart from like a couple upstairs maybe. And then this door framing garland that I put on the porch door actually gets moved to the outside, and I bring the more curtain-like door frame, like door decoration from the Seasons pack into this one, as well as some other doors. But yeah, so you can see here, these are the garlands that I'm talking about. They are the ones that unfortunately got in the way of my sim moving through the house, which is really weird because these two by the bathroom didn't affect maneuverability at all, but the one into the kitchen did. Don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm not going to stress about it because it's a bit silly. Oh, and also these two on the straight edge spandrels leading into this main sitting area, they also got in the way, which again was just weird. It was like they were picking and choosing. But yeah, so I went for the larger ones for the larger windows as well. So that is just like really decked out and everywhere just is as Christmassy as possible. I think I avoided using any garlands in the bedrooms though. So if anyone wants to go for more Christmassy or holiday vibes, you can decorate the bedrooms with Christmas and Christmas furniture and things. But yeah, so you can see I've got one Christmas tree, which is sort of like the main Christmas tree in this dining area. And again, I was going to use the horse ranch table, but then I remembered I've got the holiday stuff and I just brought that table in. I went with the green just because otherwise it would have been a lot of red, and I don't think the one with the red table cloth would have, like, I think that one's got a weird wood tone that wouldn't have worked with the wood tone of the floors, so that's also another reason, factor towards deciding green. And then I just kind of fill everything up with crackers. I bring some presents out into this corner, and I also put some more garlands on the table, and then it's just like a question of putting up some paintings on the wall behind the dining table. And that's really it for this room. It wasn't like that much. I feel like this build felt like it was taking ages because I was really tired, but it didn't actually. I don't think, like, it's pretty quick, pretty simple. And overall, like, the look is really good in my opinion. But yeah, again, like, just for paintings I was sticking with more traditional things rather than like any sort of abstract sort of stuff. And I didn't put like any rugs or anything in this room as well because I thought like the Christmas tree's there, so, you know, like pine needles and everything dropping. But yeah, and then I'm pretty sure that wreath stays. It might stay, and if it does stay then it won't affect the sim getting into the house because my sim had no problems getting into the house, so yeah. But yeah, just bringing those garlands through into this main seating area now. I think we might be on to decorating it in this sort of area. I don't know, don't ask me why I moved those two sconces together, but one of them does go eventually. No, we're putting more garlands upstairs. So I'm still kind of building things in like kind of maybe like a bit of a weird way. Like I feel like I'm still kind of darting around the place a lot. But anywho, we are now on to the main sort of more like private living area. So we've got this desk from Paranormal Stuff, or the Paranormal game pack, no, it is a stuff pack, yeah. And then I've also got the Werewolves game pack, which is how come I am using the little painting there, which is from that pack. And then yeah, also throughout this build, as you can see I've just done, I sized down some of the less ornate Christmas trees and put them in places. So there's the one by the desk, and then there's the normal sized one right here in the corner, and I think in the what I imagine to be the parents' bedroom upstairs there's also a small one. But yeah. So yeah, and then I'm just bringing in this large coffee table from the parent stuff pack, which is also the same one I think that I used in like the entranceway to my 4-family home. And then I add in some little toys and things to the side, just some decoration. So we've got those mini Christmas trees in the jars, and then I add some nutcrackers as well to the table. I was just kind of looking for things that, you know, you would leave around in the lead up to Christmas. I was imagining this as like a pre-Christmas home instead of post-Christmas or like Christmas Day. But yeah. And then yeah, so this is one of 2 bathrooms that we are now on. This one has only got a shower, but upstairs it's got a shower tub combo. And I'm so thankful that the Seasons pack came with like a nice doormat that I could use as a bath mat, because that one fits so perfectly with the snowflakes and everything, and also kind of complemented, I'm pretty sure this is blue tile, yeah. And then yeah, I was you can see I paused on the werewolf game pack mirror there. I really am captivated by it. Can't wait to sort of like build a more like werewolfy kind of witchy home. Would be cool. But yeah, so it's just cluttering out the bathroom. Now we're moving on to the lower floor bedroom. At first I did have carpet in the rooms, but I got rid of it in this one because I just eventually, I don't know, it got to me over time. And then you can see I'm using like cottage living and the horse ranch pack again, for like the bed, the bedside table, the wardrobe as well. I sort of imagine this house as like the grandparents come and stay too. So this room was like the grandparents' room, because obviously if like Sims are elders, then they can't go upstairs so well. And also in real life, if you're older, you can't go upstairs so well. But yeah, and then I've just used the Seasons curtains, and you can kind of see the clutter that I've added around the room. I did cut it out because otherwise the video would be overly long. And I'm still surprised I kept the kitchen cluttering in. But yeah, now we're on to the upstairs bathrooms. I just go with the parenthood shower tub combo, and I leave it at the default swatch. That was me deleting it and then realising actually no, I do want it in this build. And then I just kept everything the same. Otherwise, at first I did use this vampire mirror just because it's quite ornate. But then eventually I replace it with the parenthood cabinet instead. The clutter on the sink is the same, just like I think the other way round, and then just adding in like the toilet paper and everything. Don't worry, that basket does get deleted because when I playtested, obviously they couldn't access, like the Sims couldn't access the sink. But that was like mainly it for the bathroom. There is some more clutter that you'll see in the screenshots. Here we're on to one of 2 kids' bedrooms, or like teenager bedrooms. This one's like more green and brown and darker. Yeah, there's a lot of patterns in here now that I'm realising it, but you know, we've done it. I do change that swatch on the portrait to the one with the animals, because I add like a loth cat statue from the Star Wars pack onto the bedside table, so I thought maybe they would like animals or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, so here onto the second kid's bedroom. This one's a bit lighter, a bit more like cutesy. I love the sheep. The sheep on the bed is so cute. And I also maybe imagined that this was a slightly older child who maybe they had more like pressure to do homework during holidays or something, or maybe they were at university and this was like them coming home from university for the holidays as well, and they still have like just loads of work to do as usual. I've used the same curtains from downstairs in the kitchen up here, and then just like a blind in the bathroom. For the window seat area, that like the balcony that leads onto the balcony, I just left it with like the garlands and everything. And then here I use this is like the master bedroom kind of, because it is the biggest, but it's not really like got like any ensuite or anything, because I thought I'd keep it simple for this family home. It was going for more like that simplistic, simple living kind of vibe. Yeah, so cottage living bed. I think that's a seasons counter. No, console table. Definitely a parenthood wardrobe. And then again, I just bring in this base game mirror that's quite ornate. And then this little space in between the mirror and the wardrobe is where I add in the smaller Christmas tree, which I didn't know how to search for. I actually was like, because my brain was like, it's not Christmas, it's like a Christmas tree, but it's not a Christmas tree. So I just had to go show all on decorations and found it that way. I've also added in this crib. Well, not that one. It's like the travel one. So if you do use this for family gameplay, there is space for like an infant, right? Or a toddler. No, an infant, right? But yeah. And then just adding this runner rug to the hallway, which I did the whole thing and then realised I could have just changed the swatch once and added it in and never had to worry about going back. But yeah, this is us also coming to the end of the build, so you can see I'm building this patio that I did mention earlier, using like a seasons table and the wood stove from the horse ranch pack and everything. And like I said, there's still space for other things as well. But we're going on to screenshots now. All the like lot size and stuff info will be in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed, and please give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!